Let's go! Let's go! Welcome to Spitballin. I am your host, Dollar Bill. And you can find us on the Let's Go Network on Facebook and Twitter, and especially TikTok and YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends that I do a pretty good job on the show. I've been making you money if you're paying attention. 9-1 in the playoffs. It's pretty good. Listen, I'm going to take credit for the win last night because I did have Kansas City minus a 6. But listen, if you had Buffalo, plus the 3, whatever it was, you lost the bet, but you might have been on the right side of it. Did I get lucky? Sure. Have I gotten unlucky in the past? Sure, they call it gambling. But you know what? I spoke about that, game on another edition. The game that I don't even know if I'm the most proud of this game. All 4 games are great this weekend. But I had an I told you so moment with the San Francisco game. But the one most gratifying to me was the Rams and then Tom Brady. And the Rams pulling it out 30-27. Now, to be honest, this game shouldn't have been this close. And, I am a Matthew Stafford fan. I live on Long Island. I've always liked the guy. Forget about numbers. He always showed toughness with the Lions. He just never won. You know why? Because the Lions are in Detroit. And the last I checked, Detroit sucks. And the Lions have sucked for a real long time. But that man brought that team a lot of credibility. Got them to the playoffs 3 times. Usually carrying the whole team. I'm surprised he doesn't need back surgery for all the times he carried that squad. But I always said he was a good quarterback then. And he got, the trade of all trades. You get traded from Detroit to go to the Rams. Oh, my God. Talk about hitting the lottery. Going from years of dysfunction to going to an awesome offense, an awesome new stadium, big time, everything. It is unbelievable how good it was for them. And I said back then, Matthew Stafford's going to win the Super Bowl. He is. This is before they got Von Miller. This is before they got Odell. I said, this guy is going to make the Rams win the Super Bowl. And I've never wavered. Ever. Even at 27-27 yesterday, and we'll get into that, I hear from my friends and people blasting me, Matthew Stafford can't win the big one, he's this, he's that. I say, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. At 20-3 at halftime yesterday, Matthew Stafford played a perfect game. Now, we saw some chinks in the armor, and I hope that's not politically incorrect, but whatever, you know what I mean. You don't see any chinks in the armor when you saw that game in the first half. It almost was a it said, it kind of gave you the inkling like you knew the Tampa Bay was going to come back. Because you saw what Sean McVey and the boys were doing to play calling. They were moving the ball up and down the field. Here was the problem. And I could see this watching at home. Is there a law that says you have to run the ball on first down every time? I mean, is there? There's no law against it, last I checked. And, they were getting stuffed. 1 or 2 yards on first down, 2nd and 8. I know manageable. But, Stafford was really, really good yesterday. I think he might have thrown one ball that was a little questionable. That went for an incomplete pass in the end zone. Other than that, he was money. But if Matthew Stafford and the Rams would have lost that game, Matthew Stafford would have been vilified forever. Through no fault of his own. They turned the ball over 4 times. You blame the quarterback when he turned it over 4 times. But Cam Akers fumbled not once, but twice. And the first time he fumbled, it was on the 1-yard line going in when he landed on his head. So instead of 20-3 at halftime, it should have been 27-3. And at that point, that game would have been sayonara, good night, pay Bill the money. But no, 20-3, they gave him a heartbeat and whatnot. Then Cooper Kupp had the little fumble at 27-6, which turned to 27-13, and then Cam Akers, and then when you thought they had it all under control, the center decides to snap the ball when my man's not looking. 27-27, with a minute and whatever change left. And, before we get to that final minute, Sean McVey and his play calling, you scared POS, man. You have your bravado and you have all this. Let me just tell you what you have, you dumb moron. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, Matthew Stafford, playing a hot hand. And what do? You played to not lose the game. The opposite of what Herman Edwards would do. You played not to lose the game. You kept running the ball. Guess what? You weren't running it all day. So I know you want to run clock, but your only chance to move the ball was with Matthew Stafford's right arm. And he was damn good. And you got to put it in his hands to win the game. And for maybe 59 minutes, you said, I'm going to try and hold off. When Tom Brady, scored to make it 27-all, and the Buccaneers and Tampa fans going bananas, I think, a minute 5, how much time there was, you finally realized you didn't want this game going down to a coin flip. Your kicker was hurt and wasn't really that good. Missed a 47-yarder in good weather. Short. Which is god-awful. You can't have that happen. But, Tom Brady needed 14 things to happen in sequence to get that game tied, and they did. But everyone knew in the stadium and watching on TV, if Tampa Bay won the toss, they were winning the game. The LA defense was tired and gassed because you kept calling running plays and then kept putting Stafford in 3rd and 12 and, couldn't make a play on 3rd and 12 a couple times. Not his fault. That his offensive line held up for most of the game. So with a minute left, what does he do? He kind of looks at Stafford and said, "You're my man. Got to win it." And guess what happened? Matthew Stafford made a couple throws. He found his man, Cooper Kupp, running down the middle of the field toward the end zone. Got the ball spiked. Ball game. Matthew Stafford is halfway to the goal of winning the Super Bowl. Had a great season. Won pretty easy against the Cardinals. Should have won pretty easy against the Buccaneers. And have a tall task this coming weekend against the San Francisco 49ers, who are not only the most physical team in the NFL and still the most physical team playing right now, the most dangerous team in the NFL right now. Because any team that can go to Green Bay and beat Aaron Rodgers and show toughness when they could have got blown out of that game, and have also beat the Rams not once but twice, including a Week 18 tilt where they needed to win to get in, where SoFi Stadium sounded like a San Francisco home game. Matthew Stafford has one more challenge to climb before playing a Super Bowl, possibly in his home stadium. But make no mistake about it, I don't want to hear anyone's bullshit about Matthew Stafford not being a good quarterback anymore. 5 years ago, I told you he'd end up in Canton, Ohio. And I promise you that. And this is his best chance to stick it to all you guys. He's class. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. And he's got balls. And you never knew it before because he played in Detroit. And you held it against him. And the man does nothing but make good throw after good throw after good throw. His career playoff record stands at a whopping 2-3. This man's going to get to the Super Bowl. They're going to beat San Francisco on Sunday. He's going to find a way, as long as Sean McVey puts the ball in his hand. And Sean McVey, you did it. You played scared against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl when he beat you with the Rams a few years ago with Jared Goff as your quarterback. You played scared the last 29 minutes, minus the last minute, against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, I think you have to have a real, a come-to-God moment here. Matthew Stafford's the man. And, he might be, quote, the third best quarterback left in these playoffs, but you can win with him. And if you play your cards right, you will. That's it for this edition of Spitballin. You can always check us out on the Let's Go Network, and please tell your friends to like and subscribe to us on YouTube and TikTok. I do a lot of funny TikToks at least once a day. They're only a minute long. You'll learn a little bit of something. I'm entertaining. I'm not cocky. I am a little bit, evidently. I'm a little cocky right now, 9-1 in the playoffs. But, I'm an old guy, and I always shoot you straight. I always look out what's best for you. I try to entertain you and enlighten you and put a couple bucks in your pocket along the way. Make sure you give me a follow and like my guys behind the scenes do a really good job. So that's it for this edition of Spitballin'. And remember, always remember this. Always try and make some common sense out of your life and your sports. And let's go Rams. Dollar bill. Bye.